All right, now we got Module 4, Lesson 26. Our lesson objectives, we'll be able to divide a unit fraction by a whole number. Now, last lesson we divided a whole number by unit fraction. So now we're going to see about a unit fraction divided by a whole number. Our standard is still 2-7. We're going to apply and extend previous understanding of division to divide unit fractions by whole numbers and whole numbers by unit fractions. And that's what we're doing today is unit fractions by whole numbers. Okay, Nolan gives pans of brownies to his 3 friends to share equally. If he has 3 pans of brownies, how many pans of brownies will each friend receive? Well, we're going to do our tape diagram. We're starting off with 3 pans. Now it says he has 3 friends. So I'm going to split this into 3. And I can see in order for this to equal 3 pans up top, each friend would have to get 1 pan. So we can see 3 pans divided by 3 friends would equal 1 pan each. All right. Okay, on this one, we've changed the problem just a little bit. This time, it says that we still have 3 friends, but now we're down to 1 pan of brownies. Still working with whole numbers, and he still has 3 friends. So we can see that 1 pan divided by 3 friends would equal 1/3 pan each. So this would be 1/3 of that 1 pan, 1/3, and 1/3. Okay, this time Nolan, he still has 3 friends, but he only has half a pan of brownies. But the question says how many pans of brownies does each friend get? So I have to, my tape diagram still has to reflect 1 pan, not half a pan. So now I'm going to split this pan in half. And this represents the half a pan to share with his friends. Now, he has 3 friends, so we're going to split this pan into 3 sections. And the question is how much does each friend get of the pan? Well, in order to figure out, we know it's 1 piece, but we don't know what the denominator is because we only split up half a pan. We have to split up the other half a pan to find out how much of the whole pan did they get. And now we can see that they actually got, because when we counted up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they would have got 1/6 of a pan. Okay. Now let's see what this looks like with numbers. I have 3 friends. Well, excuse me, I got a half a pan of brownies, and we want to divide that equally among 3 friends. Now remember, the inverse we talked about before. Inverse of 3 would be 1/3. And if I swap 1/3, that means I have to change the inverse operation. Would be multiplication. And now I got 1/3 times 2/3, and I'm going to write out the side here, equals 1/6. Same answer we had by doing our model. All right, let's see what happens when he goes to 1/3 pan of brownies. Well, just like before, I have to, this here is going to be 1 whole pan on top. But I'm going to split this pan into thirds. And I know that this one here is the one he shared with 3 friends. So I'm going to split this pan up into 3. And I know each one of the friends is going to get something of the whole pan. But I have to split up the other 2/3 into thirds to find out what our denominator is. And we can see that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So each friend would have got 1/9 of the pan. So once again, let's see what the numbers look like. Okay, we have 1/3 pan of pizza, and we're dividing that between 3 friends. I'm going to change to its inverse, which would be 1/3, because I want to change it to a multiplication problem. So when I swap it, I change the division to a multiplication problem, and with 1/3, and we end up with 1/9 pan. Now the key here is we're changing 3 wholes into 3/1, and then when we switch it, it's 1/3. All right, so now let's draw a tape diagram of this one real quick. We know that this here, the top, since we're dividing a fraction, would be 1, and I'm going to split this into fifths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fifths, and this is the one I'm dividing, because that's 1/5 divided by 2, so I'm dividing it into 2. Then I got to divide all these fifths into 2. So when I count them out, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we know that it would be 1/10. Now let's do the numbers. 1/5 divided by 2. We want to get to a multiplication problem, so I know that's 2/1 for a whole number, so I'm going to do its inverse, which is going to make it 1/2. Since I changed to its inverse, I have to change the operation to its inverse, which would be multiplication, and 1/5, which equals 1/10. All right, let's apply this to a word problem. If Melanie pours a half a liter of water into 4 bottles, put an equal amount in each bottle, how many liters of water will be in each bottle? Okay, well, we know since she poured half a liter, we still got to have 1 liter on top. Now we're going to split it into half, and this here's the one that's represented by the problem, 1/2 a liter. And it says they split it into 4 bottles. There's our 4 bottles. The question is, how much is in each one? So in order to figure out how much is each one, I have to split up the other half. So split the other half up into 4, and I can see each one would be 1 out of a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Each one would be 1/8. So let's try the numbers. 1/2 divided by 4 bottles. And I know that 4 is actually 1/2 divided by 4/1. I want to change to a multiplication problem, so I have to change to the inverse, which would be 1/4. And since I changed to the inverse number, I have to change the opposite operation. And the half stays the same, and I end up with 1/8. Same as we got when doing our model. All right, so last 2 lessons have been big about when you're dividing, let's say, a fraction by a whole number. We want to change that whole number into a to a fraction. And then we want to change this to a multiplication problem, so we have to change it to its inverse opposite. And then we just multiply like regular fractions. Okay? Now, dividing by fractions is just as easy as multiplying fractions. Okay? So basically all you're doing is taking a division problem, changing the second fraction to its inverse, and multiplying fractions. See you in class.